Master and Servant.
Come on, let's play.
A really close friend or a member of the family has just had a baby and you want to buy them something fabulous to commemorate the birth. So what do you go for? Cuddly toy? Too cute, don't judge me. Charm bracelet? Well, this one's charmless. Or how about something that incorporates an image like this? Excuse me while I just pour myself a Dominatrix. It's a cocktail, you know. Oh! Pour myself a Dominatrix, quite literally. How are you supposed to do this? Oh. That'll be quite enough, I think. Maybe not. Isn't it the perfect image for a child's birth? It's exactly what you need. A young woman riding on the back of an old man, preferably whipping him. And, oh, it would be really great if they were both naked. Apart from maybe she could have just remembered to have popped her bonnet on before she went out to do a little bit of whipping. But hang on a minute, what would you have that image on that would be useful? Well, how about a birthing tray? I mean, you know, when people have babies, they get really hungry, presumably, a lot of energy and all that. So yes, a tray that's decorated with an image such as this, perfect thing to serve your chicken soup on or whatever. You may well laugh, but this is exactly what 15th century people in Florence thought. So look at this. Perhaps the line was drawn at wearing a bonnet, or only wearing a bonnet, but this is the same couple. Look, age gap, she's riding him like a horse, but who on earth are they and why are they doing this? Well, it might surprise you to hear that the horse is actually the great philosopher Aristotle. And he is being ridden by Phyllis, who has basically seduced him into allowing her to do whatever she wants to him, to prove that essentially seduction can triumph over even the greatest of intellects. But you might still be wondering, why a birthing plate? Why these images? Well, birthing plates were a thing, and the images were all about the triumphs of love. In fact, they came from a poem by Petrarch called Triumphs of Love, or this is a section of the poem. And in this particular section, Petrarch personifies love as a young man with wings who is charging around the place on a chariot pulled by white horses. You can see that in the centre of the birthing plate here. And there are references to various stories. So there's a reference to Samson and Delilah. Here they are in the front of the birthing plate. Delilah is cutting off a lock of Samson's hair, so destroying the source of his power. And the Phyllis and Aristotle story fitted into that, although perversely, that actually wasn't part of the triumph of love. And so plates with these particular images were more usually given on the birth of a baby girl. Yes, it says a lot about the source of female power in 15th century Florence, doesn't it? But by the way, the full story of Aristotle and Phyllis is that Aristotle is Alexander the Great's tutor, and Phyllis is Alexander the Great's lover. Yeah, I know, bear with me. And one day Aristotle says to Alexander, you know, I think you're getting rather distracted by this young lady Phyllis, and I don't think you should see so much of her. So Alexander just probably said, oh, well, all right then. Okay, I won't. But Phyllis, on the other hand, was having absolutely none of it. And so she engineered a little meeting with Aristotle where it was just the two of them. And she said to Aristotle, she said, Aristotle, You know, I was thinking that I would let you do anything you want to me. Anything. As long as I can do exactly what I want to do to you first. Aristotle clearly went with it, because the next thing he knew, he was outside on all fours being ridden by Phyllis like a horse. What he didn't know is that Phyllis had ensured that Alexander would witness this entire scene, so he would so gender fluid, horses, people, doesn't matter. He would witness Aristotle's humiliation and see Phyllis riding him, and this would then go to show that, in fact, well, for a start, Aristotle was a little bit hypocritical, but also that great minds could also be seduced by beautiful women, and that the two weren't necessarily mutually exclusive. And so basically, Phyllis's point was, I think I'm going to be allowed to carry on seeing Alexander as much as I want to, don't you? She was pretty clever, I think. Certainly had a great imagination, didn't she? Ooh. Anyway, there's my whip.
Master and servant.